Hello,
we're listening to him.
everybody.
Hello.
We're
Hola.
here.
Jeff and I were just reminiscing about old school wrestlers, like when the WWE was the WWF.
When it was real wrestling, when it was not fake.
Oh,
Yeah, totally was not
and
fake or
Jimmy,
scripted at all.
you.
No.
This is maybe from another age, but Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Does that
And
mean
Junkyard
anything?
Dog.
JYD.
JYD.
Yep.
I actually met JYD.
Yeah?
Lucky you.
I did.
I met when I was
Not the Raptors player, the wrestler.
when I was like 8 or 9. I met Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Undertaker.
Oh,
Tim-
nice.
Tim Hortons.
Wrestling stories. They go hand in hand with role playing games. What can I say?
That's right.
Listen. So we're back for another episode of Mutant Crawl Classics. We are currently in the midst of a funnel adventure. I am joined by my close friends from the Voctaire streaming community, Affy and Artemis. Ryan from the Canadian Dice, canadiandice.ca. Go check that out. And sort of an old man rolling dice himself, along with me, Jeff. I thought that was going to go wah, wah, wah. Anyway, I'm sorry we're late. We had a couple of things we had to straighten out, but we're here now, and we join our characters after they were on their rite of passage and were captured by these mutant ant people whose spit and saliva exerted a mind-controlling power over them. Yes, yes, she has a soundboard, and she will use it. And then they managed to they broke free of their mind control by chance, by luck, when a giant bee, its innards and honey, sort of washed the saliva away. Taking control of their minds and senses again, they have now plunged into the massive lair of the ant people, trying to find an escape. What have now left the cave structure and are in some sort of old or maybe new structure. And what did we kill the giant cockroach last time? There was a lot of death. The party started with 16 and they're down to 7. But this is the way of the funnel.
Some have it worse than others, but it's fine.
This is the way. This is the way. So just to maybe to quickly recap for everyone, Affy, how many characters do you have remaining?
2.
You're down to 2. Artemis?
2.
Ryan? Just 1. Jeff?
2.
2.
And we have received a player buff and player reroll from Ghosty Squid.
Excellent, thank you, Ghosty. So if you remember, we're gonna keep those in like a community pot here, where a player buff allows you to up the dice, one up the dice chain, and a reroll is just what it says. You get to reroll. Okay, so we have one of each of those, and we'll try to remember. I'm sure chat will keep us honest on how many of those we have. So you have defeated the giant cockroach. You found a sort of a strange radioactive room behind you that incinerated.
Skippy.
Was it Skippy, your squirrel mutant?
Yeah.
And now you have reached the corner of this hallway. A door stands before you, as well as the tunnel goes on to the north. I now put it in your hands, brave mutants and pure strain humans, etc.
Does that look like at the end of the hallway up there? Does that look like it turns to the left there? I can't really tell.
How do I get to the map?
Okay.
I will share it.
Anymore.
I will share it for you again. Did that work, Jeff? Do you have the map again?
Yes, I now have the map. Thank you.
Excellent. So
on
the
map, it's all up here.
On the map. So you're down in the bottom corner, everybody, and there is a door there just around the corner. It might not be showing on our map right now because Affy's got to move her character probably around the corner. And then way to the north, there is what looks to be a bend in the tunnel to the west again. And I'm using north, south, east, and west very casually because you guys don't know which direction is up or down or anything like that in here.
Top of the map.
Everyone is armed with simple farming equipment, what we like to call a hoe. And there's a few spears in the group, maybe a dagger or two. Someone has a gauzer rifle that they only sort of loosely understand how to use.
I believe it's Jimmy James Jr. the third.
Yes, and someone has a force shield, a force shield belt.
Ito.
That's Ito.
That's Ito, yep.
Ito. So what? I now turn it over to you, ladies and gentlemen. What does this band of brave mutants want to do?
Do we want to look in this room? Dare we?
Absolutely.
Dare we?
Sure. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Yeah. Could
Let's
possibly
open
go
that.
wrong.
Is it open now? I think I've got it open.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Well done, everybody. So, gazing into this room, you see a big table piled with strange metal implements. Shelves around the room also hold many strange things. Some of them are silvery metallic, others are smooth, like an exotic clay. Let's have a ghost scene here. What song is that in Ghost?
Oh, my love.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
My darling.
I humber for your touch.
I umber Hulk your touch.
So this appears to be some sort of workshop, maybe. The walls are compartmentalized shelving, and there are parts scattered all over them as well.
I think we should go touch stuff.
Okay. Okay. Well, I got one guy left. I might as well start touching
Could
things.
possibly go wrong.
Do we recognize anything here at all?
I see smoothness.
Well, as you look over the parts and the clay things, you don't recognize a whole lot of stuff. There does appear to be some things that you find that like are mildly like, I think I maybe know what this is. You know what? Let's if you'd like to check for something that you actually can identify, give me a luck check. Or roll d20 and you're trying to get under your luck.
Okay.
That's a no.
I rolled under my like a 16.
You rolled under yours?
Yep.
Oh, whoops, I rolled the wrong thing.
Okay, let's see here.
Okay, well, I still got under mine.
So 2 people got under theirs?
Yep.
I hope you got under your Skeeter with that natural 1.
Okay, so let's see here. So did Ito get under his luck?
Nope.
Did Vega?
Oh,
Well-
Vega did, yes. My luck is 16 on Vega.
Okay. So Vega finds
Judy, too.
something. Okay, so Vega finds something that looks a little bit like what she thinks might be either a flute or a wind instrument of some type.
Tech did too, wow.
And Judy finds a very big wrench. Yeah,
It's
like
not as soft as the bag.
It could easily be used for pummeling damage. Who else got below?
Kezi and Tech both did.
Okay.
And Skeeter and Jimmy James both did as well. Skeeter rolled a 1 if that matters.
Okay, so I won't here. Then we found just about everything of worth in the room. So I'm not going to say who finds it. I'm just going to describe what's found by the group then. So there is some sort of a wristband.
Okay.
I'm gonna move out here.
And it's made of some sort of soft like you can bend it and twist it. Maybe it's a plastic or rubber or jelly of some type. There is another small 6-inch metal wand.
Like one of these?
Yeah, very close to that. Very close to that. There is this small 6-inch wand. There is that flute thing that I described. There is the wrench. You find a what appears to be a phaser pistol.
Fancy.
Like it looks like it's some kind of weapon. You find a set of 6 cans connected by these plastic rings.
That's like a telephone. Got it.
And there's like a metal tab that can be pulled on the top of each of these canisters.
It's a 6-pack. Are they tall boys?
They are tall. They are long and cylindrical. Yes. And
Nice.
then finally there are 2 orbs with very strange contraptions on the top of them that consist of what looks like a lever and a pin. And they are bound together on a sort of webbing belt.
Got
think
it,
whoever's gonna
wrench.
try and identify stuff should do it in the room with the door closed while the rest of us wait in the hallway. Just that's my opinion.
I agree. I'll be out here with my bag.
Who's got... So I have a +1 to my artifact check, so I can.
Who is that on?
Heck.
On tech, okay. The plant.
I got a 0 or a -1. Guess which one has the -1?
She's
one with
holding
the
the back, isn't
bag.
she? Where's the artifact check again? What tab is that on?
It's on the very
Actions.
last tab, the action tab.
Actions.
You'll see an artifact tab, artifact check. And how artifact check works is whatever your artifact check is, I then modify that by the tech level of the item. Pardon me, not the tech level, the challenge level of the item. So if the item is very challenging to use, that could, whatever that is, that number is, let's say it's 1 to 4, that will become a negative. So even if you have a +2, if it's a challenge level 3 item, you would still be at -1.
I'm showing a -8 on Skeeter, but I don't know why.
That's excellent. It's because Skeeter interacted with a level 8 dashboard, I believe, in the radioactive room. I have changed the modifier back to 0.
Okay, back to 0. Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. So you've got these artifacts. These are the sorts of things that you came looking for. This is what will allow you to pass your rite of passage, these sorts of things.
All right, give me the pistol.
Okay. The pistol. So let me drop them into your party sheet.
Will it say what the tech level on them is?
I'm not sure. I will check that once they're there. I am kind of worried that it might give away what they are, so
Okay.
I know there's a way that they can be unidentified though in this am I right on that, Affy?
Yes, so in the taskbar at the top of it, there should be an ID in a red or green circle.
Yeah, so I'm putting red circles on everything.
Yep.
Okay. So can you at least see what they're called though?
No. Because there
It just-
isn't
It just
if
says
you
unidentified
unlock it,
item. Yeah.
if you unlock it, there should be a section for a non-ID name,
Oh, okay. I see.
and that's kind of what
Well,
makes
those are
it.
definitely grenades.
I see grenade and pistol, and unidentified.
There you go. So there's 2 grenades. Those are those balls with the weird lever and pin. There's two of those.
I believe you called them orbs. Not
Orbs.
balls.
Yes, orbs with a lever and pin
Yeah.
on a webbing belt.
Mm-hmm. So if anyone would like to take, like, Judy can drag the big wrench across.
I don't know which one it is.
Oh, it doesn't say? Okay.
No.
Just says unidentified item on a bunch of them.
Oh, well, that's not helpful. Okay.
I told you how to fix it.
What do I have to click on?
When you open up the item, there should be a lock. Click the lock.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be a non-ID name or notes or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Non-ID name. Thank you. Okay.
Welcome.
So I'll start working on that. Does anyone want to call dibs on any of these items?
I don't necessarily want to take it, but I feel like I might be able to figure it out.
Okay. Which one would you like to try to figure out?
Well, not the grenades.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'll go with the pistol.
Okay.
I'll just like watch from around the corner like Scooby Doo.
Now, I don't think it'll actually let you. I don't think it'll actually let you. Will it let you on your sheet roll, or do I have to do the roll? I think I might have to do the roll.
I think you did it for us last time because you put the modifier in and stuff.
So
Oh, yeah.
who's doing that? Ito?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. Hold
And
on.
Ito's checking out the pistol.
I had something blow up on me last time, so I'm gonna move into this room away from everybody.
Okay. So Ito takes the pistol and walks away for everyone's safety. And within just a few moments of fiddling around with it, Ito realizes that the pistol is inoperative. It's missing parts. However, it is ultra hard, made of some sort of ultra hard metal, and you could hit someone with it, and it would be a club of the equivalent of 1d5 damage.
Nice.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. So I'm going to identify that, and you can drag that over onto...
Inoperative phaser pistol. Okay.
You can drag that over onto Ito's sheet, and it can be used as a 1d5 club.
How do you... Let's not let me drag it.
You literally grab the little dragon. And
Oh, you gotta grab the red part. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then
Anybody interested in the rod?
That's quite the look.
Skeeter's curious.
About the rod?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he want to try to make it work?
Yeah, I'll go into the private room and close the door and try and figure out how to work
I
the
love that
rod.
one by one you're taking these items into the room.
Hold on, let me get out of here before you start playing with your rod.
Yeah. I don't even know which end is the action end at this point. I gotta figure this out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you go in there with the rod. So you have a +0 artifact check.
Correct.
And what is so I'll tell you this, that with Skeeter's intelligence, unfortunately, he cannot figure out anything about this rod.
He knows it's a rod.
It is of such a high tech level that you're like, I don't get it.
It's like at least tech level 1. It's really hard for me
I
to
actually
figure it
am
out.
not sure that anyone in the party, I'll let you know, this is a tech level 5, which means you would have to have a +2 in your intelligence modifier to be able to figure out the rod.
He's dead.
Who? The guy that could do.
My guy that could do it.
So you can take it with you, and with overextended time, you could study and test it and try to figure it out. But right here, right now, not going to happen.
What's the unidentified item 6?
The quantity 6 one.
Oh, did
That's
I not?
that's like the canisters
Oh, the
on
6
the
pack.
belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
6 cans, yes.
Does anybody else want to try to figure this stuff out, or I can try something else?
I could try the bracelet.
Okay.
I'm good.
Anybody mind if I take the rod?
No, go for it. You hang on to your rod.
Who's taking the bracelet?
Tech.
Tech. Okay. Cool.
Yep. So I let Skeeter get out of the room first before something blows up.
Good idea.
And then you have a go with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So a part falls off.
Okay.
So give me a DC 12 intelligence check to replace the part.
Natural one.
Yeah. No. We're off to our first natural one. So you poor Tech can't get the part to go back into the wristband. However, there is an engraving on the inside of the band as you have played with it.
Okay. Do I
And
recognize what it says?
well, it's sort of written in new, but not really. But you can understand enough that it says, "Get more steps and eat less carbs."
Oh,
I
look,
think-
it's an old torture device.
I think it just called you fat.
Like, which is funny because Tech is like 6 feet tall, weighs 100 pounds soaking wet because they're a freaking tree. Like,
A plant. Yeah, exactly.
like.
All right,
Just, like,
out of the
they
room.
look sad. Walk out of the room.
I will try the wind instrument.
Is Fred. The wind instrument? Okay. Okay. And who are you doing that with?
The only person I have.
Oh, I didn't know you were down. Just
It's Ito. Yeah.
just the Ito man, right?
Yep. Boom.
And there's
If I
no
get
luck.
killed by a flute, I'm quitting.
Nice.
Listen. So it is a sonic whistle. And when activated, the whistle makes a shrilling, whistling sound.
You gotta have a whistle sound there, Affy.
Yeah.
Or you
However,
somewhere.
Absolutely.
Those within 5 feet have to make fortitude saves or they're deafened. Yeah, that's exactly how it sounds. At a much higher I don't know.
Okay. Anybody
Does that
want?
affect friend and foe alike, or
Yeah.
just foe? Okay.
No, friend and foe. Even the one blowing the whistle. You're welcome to drag that over, and it has 20 charges on it.
Anybody want a sonic whistle?
Maybe we just figure out what everything is first and then decide what we want to take back with us.
Okay, so the only thing left to figure out are the strange orbs and the 6 cans connected by the plastic rings.
I'm so scared of those.
Jimmy
I'm
James will check out the
all
6 cans.
Okay, good, perfect. I'm out.
Okay. Jimmy James checks out the cans. There is a tab on the top of the cans if he would like to pull one of those.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So there is the distinct sort of
It's like a smoke bomb.
snap. Yes.
What does it smell like?
So Jimmy James is part fox or wolf? Coyote. So like, it is some sort of fermented grain mixture.
Can I smell hops and
Yes.
barley and?
Yes.
Probably a little skunky.
Do you want to take a drink?
I'll take a little sip.
Yes. Yes. So as you do that, it is relatively tasteless. Clearly a light beer, and but there is you can tell that there is maybe your guys' tribes have fermented some kind of fruit or something in the past, and there is that same kind of thing going on here.
Excellent.
You can tell it's an alcoholic beverage.
Very refreshing.
Yeah. Did you put one down?
Oh yeah, I'll shotgun. I'll slam what's left of the one and
Okay.
put the rest in my pack.
So Jimmy James has what should we call this? Maybe somebody in chat give us a name for a light beer. A light beer in the future maybe, or in the past, or
Old
Ocean of
Milwaukee.
bravery.
old Milwaukee. Yes, it's a potion of bravery. You have to drink a lot of them, but you will get a slight bravery bonus. Go disappointing bread. Go ahead and move those over into your sheets, guys. The whistle and the I'm gonna just let you know. The grenades are low enough level that you can figure them out relatively easily. The grenades are homemade, though. They're not like military grade.
They're really unstable, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying, be careful with them.
Is there a plate like? Does it say what like the sonic whistle?
Yes.
I dragged it over, but is there a way to see what it actually does? Because I forgot what you said already.
If you click the dragon again, it should open it up so you can read it.
Yes, good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want soggy bread? There's 5 left. I dragged one over.
Is that
Oh,
what we're
disappointing
calling
bread.
it? Soggy bread alpha male. Alpha male light. Whatever the case, they're in the party sheet, and I will let you drag them to whoever would like to have them.
Space beer.
Okay.
Well, that's not good.
What?
I saw you roll something. Hive random encounter. Oh,
does
no.
it tell you it's the Hive random encounter table? Yes.
It
Yeah.
does.
So far, nothing, everyone. What would you like to do?
Should we
I
keep
guess we'll go
going?
north.
Okay.
Anybody? Does anybody want these grenades?
I'm afraid of grenades. I've
Okay.
seen too many people blow up.
All right, I'm taking the grenades.
Okay.
Well, I took one. Somebody wants to take another one.
The grenades are inside your force field.
They are, yeah.
Or
You're
at least
hiding behind Tech and Kezi.
At least one of them is. So you can go right up to the corner. Nothing happens. When you reach there, you see a hallway with a number of doors, as well as a ramp. Now, I assume you can see the drawing here, ramp down. So you're at the bottom of the ramp. That ramp goes up for you.
Maybe that's our way
Right.
out.
And there are a number of doors. Well, remember, you were on the level above, right?
Yeah, we came down a ladder and a
through
hatch.
Yeah.
So
We're
probably back up into the main part of the nest or whatever.
Yes, that's your best guess.
That was Vega. Definitely not Judy.
Okay.
She's too busy.
Is Judy not the smartest person?
Judy has a -1 intelligence.
Okay, well, you know.
That's why
She's
she
still trying to
likes.
get the wrench in the bag.
That's why she likes soft things. If it makes you feel better, both the soft and the wrench are unbreakable.
Yeah.
The bag and wrench are listed as being unbreakable, so alpha male light for the incel who loves their abs. Viking, you should be in marketing. Okay, well, listen. There's 3 doors to choose from, or the ramp. This hallway is like sterile and cold, and yeah.
Do we check the doors?
Oh, I see.
Should we split up?
Is it?
Pincer maneuver.
No.
It's hard to see on the map. Is it 2 doors, basically on the north wall? And then
2 doors on the north wall and 1 door at the end to the west.
Got it.
Here.
Or the
Here,
ramp
and
to the
here.
south.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Well, start with the closest door, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of against the rules to walk past a closed door, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and open it. We'll let you open it.
Is that how you got shot with a ballista?
That is exactly how he got shot with a ballista once. This
Yeah,
room
but I
is-
was laying on the floor at the time,
This
so that
room is cluttered with broken tables and chairs pushed back against the walls furthest from the door, against various shelves and cabinets. A narrow, upright structure with white glass walls stands next to a metal box on a counter. So
Yeah.
all furniture has been pushed back against the north wall.
Like deliberately?
It would appear so, yes. But a narrow, upright structure with white, glassy walls stands next to a metal box on a counter.
Wants to touch the box. Not it.
Doesn't look very soft.
I'll do it.
So what is Skeeter going in?
I mean, you
Sure.
don't have to touch the box. We can just keep moving.
I
This
think.
room doesn't go
This is
anywhere.
very true.
Well, I have to go see what's in the
Well,
box.
we have to
What's in
touch
the
everything.
box? Come
What's
on.
What's in
What's
the
in the
box?
box?
I'm just moving Vega in so everybody can see the room.
I think Ito is standing on Jimmy James. Maybe, yeah. I'll back him up a little bit. He'll be on
Okay.
Overwatch with the rifle.
All right.
So where is this box in this glass case of emotion?
Let's say it's against the east wall, the right hand wall there.
Okay, I'll go investigate
Okay.
with my cunningness.
So there are a number, just like the other counter before, there are a number of knobs and gems on the box's face.
Well, I'm going to try and manipulate some of them because
Okay.
it worked so well before.
You do not have the intelligence for this, Skeeter.
I don't even have the intelligence for this.
The device is beyond you. You are what they call dumb.
Is it like
I've actually heard that before.
variable?
You would need a +1 in your intelligence at least to grasp the knobs and buttons on the box.
I don't even know how to touch them.
Tech does.
Huh?
So if you come out, Tech can go look.
We do
I
have
could
a
be there for
reroll
moral support.
and a plus if you want to use it.
I'll put that
Okay.
plus on my intelligence. Perfect.
Okay.
Is it permanent? A permanent plus?
No, it's a dice increase.
I know. I'm not that
Sassy
smart.
pants.
Okay. So Tech goes in and tries to figure this out.
Yo,
You don't sound. Yup. Okay. All
Tech
right.
was the one that I wanted to survive, but they're at half health, so I think they're boned either way. Can I
Reroll.
use the reroll?
Did you drink
you
your
totally reroll?
or eat your muffins or what or mushrooms that heal you?
No, I haven't had any of those since we got down here. Wait for one of these, but
Yeah, don't worry about that. This isn't a use thing, so it just activates. So there is a hum, and there is pulsing light within that glassy chamber.
like dive for cover.
And then it's slowly boo 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 boo, and it comes to a stop.
Maybe we're supposed to get in the chamber. Then turn it on.
That was slightly terrifying.
So Tech can cause it to do what just happened. It could trigger that again for you.
Is there like a door to get into that thing? Like, can you open the glass?
I was like, how big is it?
Yeah, it's big enough that like 2 or 3 people could squeeze inside it.
Well, put something in it, and then try it again. See what happens.
Put the bag in it.
No!
And the wrench.
Well, let's see what I got here.
It's mine. You can't.
You don't want to
Like,
put
I
Put
have,
the empty can in
I
it.
have a hoe that you could put in there.
I'll put
I'm
the
gonna
empty
go-
can from the.
I'm gonna go put my. Oh, that's a good idea.
Put a
Let's do
hoe
that.
in. They're expendable.
I was gonna say I have a conch
You
shell.
gotta take care of your hose.
Oh, I don't have my stuff. Never mind.
gardening hose, right? Just for the
Yes.
new viewers, gardening hose.
But if you don't take
Okay,
care
so
of your
we-
tools,
we-
how are you going to garden?
Okay,
We
so
put
you
the
put a
empty
garden hoe and a can of beer in.
Yeah, the empty,
The
Empty
empty
can.
can of beer.
The empty, and then Tech pushes the buttons and everything, and like whoop, 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 and boop boop. Nothing seems to have happened.
So when it fires up, can I try to figure out more about it?
There is. You believe that it is that the inside the chamber there is some sort of something's happening, but you didn't see it have any effect on the unliving things you put in.
Okay, well, it's too big for us to carry, so let's move
Oh yeah, you
on
couldn't
and we'll
possibly
come back.
carry this.
Yeah, so, like, I retrieve the hoe in the beer can, I guess.
Okay.
And then, like, I don't know, guys. It's too big to carry. Let's move on. We can come back later if we want.
I kind of want to go in it.
You want to go in there while I push the button?
Yeah, kind of.
You have
But
one character left.
I know. So
Skeeter will do it.
I think yes.
Skeeter will get in the box.
Okay, Skeeter gets in the box.
Skeeter's in the box.
What is
I'm gonna
Skeeter? Is Skeeter a mutant?
Skeeter is a mutant, yes. He has a carapace, I believe. Maybe.
You want to leave that gun out here before you go in?
He doesn't have the gun, but he's going to put the rod on the floor outside the box, just in
Okay.
case. And then he's going to start praying to... Now he has chitinous skin. He's a mutant with chitinous skin.
He's a mutant with chitinous skin?
Yeah.
Teleport's all out of here.
Okay.
Push the button again.
You're going to push the button again?
And I start dancing.
And then I like dive for cover.
Does that sound like what happens?
You don't want to wear Skeeter?
No.
Okay. So it starts with a and Skeeter, it becomes very uncomfortable in there all of a sudden. You're not able to move, but like there's a little bit of pain involved in all of this. Would you like to roll me a d20, please?
Oh no.
No, but I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8?
Yeah, is that good?
Would you like to roll me a d100 now?
Oh no. 49.
49?
Hopefully you're a San Francisco fan.
So, your eyes begin to burn.
Like I can shoot fire out of my eyes, or they sting?
They sting.
Okay.
And as the machine begins to power down, boo, 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 you can hear voices.
You okay, buddy?
Shh, I'm listening.
And they're talking about prisoners escaped. You can't help but think you're listening to.
They sound like ants.
Yeah. And as Skeeter thinks that, as Skeeter goes, they sound like ants. One of them says, we are ants. Almost like they heard your thought.
Oh no.
No,
we have a telephone line into their brains.
Really loudly that if you are ants, then you really suck at keeping prisoners.
You then they hear. They must be in the lower chambers. They must be in the lower chambers, and you get a sense that there's this overwhelming sense of urgency comes over Skeeter.
I think we actually went down the west tunnel and climbed that 200-foot drop, and we're out on the plains now.
Okay, so you begin to feed them false information?
Misinformation, yes.
Okay.
And then I'll tell our companions that we should get out of here.
Skeeter sort of like... can you give me an intelligence check?
No, it's Skeeter.
Well, Skeeter needs to give me intelligence.
Intelligence, that's one of the small ones. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you're not sure that they're You're like, they went down this side. And you're not sure that they're listening to you. You also have a sense, though, that you need to protect something called the Overmind.
Oh boy.
Okay. Do I know where the Overmind is?
You feel like the Overmind is everywhere. The Overmind is always watching and always present. And it is your duty to protect the Overmind.
But if it's everywhere, how do I know where to protect it? There has to be a source.
I'm not sure. It's a very... Well, this is all new to Skeeter, right?
It's also a complex concept that his fragile little mind can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I closed the door on myself. I can't get out. There we go. Guys, whatever that happened in the box, I'm talking to the ants in my brain now, and they're looking for us. They think we're downstairs. I told them we went somewhere, but I don't know if they listened. And if you see the overmind, you have to protect it with me, please.
That might have been a bad idea. Okay, moving along.
They said they think we're in the lower chambers.
Which we
And
are.
I feel urgency from them, and I told them
so
no.
It's time to move then.
Do they have
So
to
I would
pee?
get away from the ramp, maybe. That's my guess. Is there? Well, we could go up the ramp and see if they're coming down. Do you want me to do that?
No.
Quit thinking about it.
Run.
Run. Put your bracelet on so you get your steps in.
Should we check the door just in case we need to find somewhere to hide?
You go to the next door.
Poof.
Seems like a good idea.
As you do. Peering through this doorway into this chamber, you see a vaguely shaped human creature in a tattered blue tunic, laying prone and staring back at you with some sort of weapon in its hand. It appears grievously wounded and has no legs. Nonetheless, it regards you coldly. State your business in Command D, it says flatly. Whatever furniture once existed here has been destroyed and litters the perimeter of the room, and obvious signs of combat are present, like scorches and burns.
There's another door like behind it.
Behind it. It's
Okay.
literally lying on the ground in front of it. State your business in Command D.
You said it's human-like with no legs?
Yeah, I'm just checking. I think I have an image here for you.
Okay.
I'll see if I can pull this up here. Sharing.
Yeah, that's a robot.
And there's the door beyond. Trash and litter about the room. You can see pockmarks from rounds spent, and it's pointing that that pistol-like weapon at you.
Well, I guess I went in first, so we're just trying to leave. Actually, I'm gonna say it in Manimal. I'm curious if this thing speaks different languages.
So it keeps the weapon trained on you.
We're trying to find the exit.
This is not the exit.
We're trying to find the entrance.
This is not the entrance.
We're trying to find the way.
State your business in Command D.
What is this room?
I guard here.
What do you guard?
He pauses for a moment. The Speculatron.
Whoever named that needs to be picked somewhere painful. That's way too close to speculum.
He says, the Speculatron is beyond the vault door. It must be prevented from escape.
Maybe we leave that alone then.
So he's guarding.
Yeah, there's sort of like a vault-like door past him. Yeah, he's saying that the Speculatron is in the next room, and he has to guard it.
Try to shoot it with your Gaza rifle?
I think we just leave this room and keep going.
Yeah, especially if we're gonna have company.
Yeah, he sort of moves the pistol back and forth between all of you, sort of waiting for one of you to make a move as you all peer in from the doorway.
I'll
It was
just
lovely meeting you. I hope you get legs soon. Bye.
Is that Judy?
Yeah.
okay. So I'm gonna
Walking around with the
back out.
bag.
I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah.
I tell everybody to move away.
You throwing a grenade?
Goddamn right.
Oh god, you're gonna tell everybody where we are.
I think
Are you
they
gonna
already know.
Are you gonna toss one of the grenades in?
I'm taking one of these homemade frag grenades. I
Yeah.
pull the pin. I open the door. I throw it in, and then I close the door behind me.
Okay. You hear it like ping, 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 ping across the floor. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! And there's a boom from behind the door, and then silence.
I'm gonna listen at the door for a minute.
Nothing.
I open the door. Peek
Yeah,
my head in.
there's the shredded remains of the upper body of the robot or android, whatever it was, lying. There is like shrapnel stuck in all the walls around the room. The vault door, though, is still closed tight.
I'm gonna see if his pistol is still operable.
I was gonna say, I think you just earned yourself a working pistol.
No, that pistol is punched.
Well, that didn't work. I close the door.
Now you have 2 clubbing pistols.
2 clubbing pistols.
Check this last door.
However, the pistol was damaged in the explosion, but you do find a strange clamp. It's almost like a C clamp. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say a C clamp? Okay, there's like a C clamp on its belt. It can be unhooked, and there's a little blue light flashing on it.
Can I make a check on that?
You would need intelligence +2 to make a check on this.
Okay, I cannot.
Yeah,
Nobody has a +2?
no.
Just Gomer, but
Highest
he's
is
dead.
+1.
As you go up in levels, you will be able to use higher and higher tech levels, but right now it's 0.
Well,
I guess
I'll
we should check
grab
the
the
vault door, eh?
no, I don't want to open that.
Also,
another
you
grenade.
notice that like one of his metal legs are also in the room, and although no longer attached to his body, could be used perhaps as a club.
That's the coolest club I've ever heard of. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Vito definitely needs that in his life.
I will take his leg.
Okay, I'm gonna put that into the party sheet there for you.
Is that an artifact check as well, or is it just a club?
No, it's just a club.
Okay. Anybody want a leg club?
And it has like a big metal boot on the end of it, and
That's
yeah.
right up Skeeter's alley. If nobody wants it, he'll beat people with the booted leg club.
You can grip it by the thigh.
Yes,
And
that's
like
the only
hit
place
things
to.
with its metal boot.
That's the only place to hold a leg club.
I mean, I think so.
How loud was that explosion, by the way?
Fairly loud.
Check
Loud
this
enough for
last
ants to
door.
hear?
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna think really loudly to them. That wasn't us.
Okay, I'm taking that other grenade.
Give me an intelligence check to push that idea out to the hive mind. Yes. Yes. Here.
Nice.
And they're like, the hive mind answers back, "Who is us? Of course, it was the intruders, not us."
I am the intruder. That was not me or us. That was them.
Have you been assimilated into the hive mind?
I am the hive
Yeah.
mind. You must protect me.
There's another echoed voice. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Find it.
That's one of the prisoners. Don't listen to it.
Oh, Skeeter. What have you
Worth
done?
a shot.
Okay. So Skeeter is again talking to himself. Everyone can sort of...
Would you stop
my-
talking to those people? You don't know who they are.
You
Do
don't
my
know where
eyes
they've
look any
been.
different, or they just sting?
They stung for a moment. They're feeling better now.
They're feeling better now.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I cool to take the leg club?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah, it's
for
in
it.
the party sheet.
Perfect.
Take that leg club.
Now we just got to survive long enough to use it.
D7 of leg clubbing damage.
Nice.
How much leg clubbing damage is it?
It's a D7.
A D7.
It says it's two-handed.
Yeah. So you have to make sure that in your is it Skeeter that's using it?
Yes.
Yeah. So beside it, you can throw it if you want to. I don't know if you saw that.
How far can I throw it?
But the primary hand, if you click on your primary hand, it should switch to the number 2, perhaps.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
I can really.
I've taken that other grenade. Now that I realize these work pretty well.
Yes. You're very confident in the grenade's ability now.
I'm going to hang the other 5 cans from the empty loop off the toe of the boot of my leg club and put it over my shoulder as I walk around.
Okay. And as you put it over your shoulder, like the knee bends.
Oh, perfect.
Like
So it's more like a flail than a
it's
club.
more like a flail. Like you swing the bottom of the leg, and the top comes over the top with the
Get
heavy
some
metal
whip
boot.
action with that toe. That's awesome.
That's right. That's why it's a D7.
That's
man.
why it's D7 instead of D6.
Yeah, we're not
I like
screwing
it.
around here. That is a serious toe club, foot club, a club foot. Oh, I liked it. Perfect. So the last door remains. Are we opening that?
Yes.
I think we already have opened it.
Sure.
This chamber is surrounded by strange glassy panels, both minuscule and very large. The only portion of the room free of these screens is the back wall, which is divided into 9 squares with small metal fixtures, almost like 9 drawers, right? In the center of the room stands a 4-foot-tall Ant-Man, but unlike the many others you have seen, this one is composed partially of shiny metal parts, and especially its head, antennae, and jagged mandibles, and pincer-tipped forelegs. It is robo-ant.
Grenade.
Oh.
Okay. So there's no talking, you're just immediately click, roll. Let's roll
I'm
initiative.
gonna wait a second to see if it looks aggressive.
It's aggressive.
I throw a grenade.
Okay. Let's go to the combat tracker and roll initiative. However, we will
There's definitely a Gauser rifle being fired too.
why does it not give me the encounter for this chamber? Where's my ant board to drag across? There are parcels for the drawers and stuff. Oh, here, encounter. Let's see.
A weapon of any sort?
Okay. So there we go, and we're gonna go. Is it menu to get initiative to roll?
Oh,
Oh, we've
you
all
guys
been rolling it.
initiative?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You got a 0, good job.
maybe I won't be throwing a grenade.
Nope.
How do I roll initiative for the thing in the room?
Right click on menu, and there should be a roll NPC or non-friendly.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. So at the top of the initiative appears to be. First of all, I'm gonna let you roll the grenade because you were very quick to do that. So like before anything goes off, the grenade rolls into the room, and it has that metal on concrete sound as it rolls towards the target and then finally detonates. So do you have the stats for that? Because I don't
Yeah,
have them.
it just says 15. Yeah, hold on.
Who's it on? It's on
Handmade frag grenade. 4d6 damage in a 15
Yeah.
radius.
Yeah. Do you want to just roll me the 4d6?
Sure.
This
Times
might be the fastest combat we've ever had.
15 damage.
15. So listen, everybody, the grenade goes in and explodes. And the poor, well, maybe not the poor, but the wound 15. I can't believe you have a sound effect for that. The robo-ant flies back against the back wall, against those drawers, and then, begins to get back up again. And we're going to go to the start of the initiative now, and it's a screen in the room. A screen in the room flickers to life. The glassy surface shows this huge image of a face. The giant glass godlike face bellows in a thunderous voice, "You foolish mortals! You have caused enough trouble here. You have no way out, but I will be merciful.
Grenade.
If you allow yourself to be absorbed back into the hive, you may be responsible for bringing civilization and order back to the world." Ta-da! And now it's James' turn to react to said request. He unleashes with the Gaussa rifle. And misses. Does not hit the target. So we go down now to Vega.
I'm gonna throw a spear.
Okay. Roll to hit with your spear. Oh, nice.
17.
Yeah, give me damage. It flies and it catches the ant.
Max
Oh,
damage.
max damage.
Nice.
Where there's like no armor. It actually hits like fleshy ant parts. This is the opposite of last week with your rolls. Good job,
No
everybody.
kidding.
Oh, boom! The spear hits it as it's trying to get up, and it's sort of one of its ant-like legs buckle. It's now Tech's turn.
Tech is gonna move. Oops, crap! They're still attached to this.
One tough ant.
They're gonna move here and guard the rear because they're worried about the ants coming down the
Yes.
ramp.
Yes.
And if they see an ant come around the corner, they're gonna huck a spear at it.
Okay, cool. And that's Tech's turn?
Yep.
They are invisible to us, so you might have to turn them on if they are on the map. The screens and the robo-ant.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I think, can you see them now? I know they're not on the map.
Oh,
Map. We're just gonna theater of the mind that, but they are on the combat tracker.
Yep.
Is
Yes.
that cool?
Yep.
Okay. So then the ants' antennae, they quickly snap down almost like the locking mechanism of a gun, and they begin to fire needles from their antennae launchers.
as you do.
As you do.
Like ant ballistas? Awesome.
Let me just see if I click this. Does this work?
You're right in front too.
Yep.
So the first one is Skeeter with an 11.
And I have an AC of 10, so yes, that hits.
That hits, and you take 7 damage, Skeeter.
Oh wow! I'm
Wow.
well beyond dead.
So that
So
that leg club is up for grabs?
The leg club is up for grabs as a needle goes right through the face of poor Skeeter. Poor Skeeter. Who's the second person in line there? I think it's Judy.
No, not Judy.
Judy will also get a needle.
Well,
I don't know
Ito
why
is
it's
right
double rolling.
behind.
I don't know why it's double rolling like this, but The
Ito
antenna
is the one that's
launcher-
right behind Skeeter.
Who did?
Ito is right behind Skeeter. Like if you're looking at the map. You have 25 temporary hit points.
You don't know that.
You should be up in front.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna roll a dice. Judy is odd
trying to level the
and
playing
Skeeter
field
is
here.
an even. It is Skeeter that takes it. Does a 16 hit Skeeter?
Skeeter's already dead.
Not Skeeter, Ito.
Oh yeah.
7 points of damage to your force fields.
Okay.
So you guys see another needle come flying down, hits the force field, and sticks into the roof. Judy, it's Judy's turn.
Hold my bag, and she like holds it out to Vega and runs in
Oh, my bag.
with her wrench. She's
Okay.
gonna smack him with the wrench.
She's gonna smack it with a wrench.
Was it
Yeah.
just a regular wrench, or did we try?
I
Was
don't
there
know. Nobody tried to identify it. 17 to hit though.
17, nice. So roll
Uh,
the damage. I think it's a D5.
2.
2 damage. Thump. Right in its head.
I got it.
It doesn't take that well. It just looks at you and says, "Destroy the impure. Eradicate." Skeeter? Oh, sorry. Skeeter's dead.
Yeah, Skeeter's face is caved in.
Kezi?
Cause he's gonna like move to the doorway, throw the hoe at it.
Throw your hoe down. Ding, 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 ding. A crit!
Nat 20.
Oh my gosh! Critical hit. Critical table. You rolled a 5. Why is it? I'm surprised it's not giving us the result. Hold on a second. I'll get it. Critical hit. A 5. Solid strike to the torso. Inflict an extra D6 damage. So you're gonna roll your damage and then roll a D6 as well.
Okay, so there's the damage, the regular damage. So 1.
1.
And then a D6, you said?
Yeah.
Oop, didn't go where I wanted it to. Oh,
As
and
your
the
hoe
frickin-
strikes it very.
That was not even remotely close to what I wanted. Sorry. Wrong dice.
Wrong dice. Same result.
There,
though.
Same result.
You rolled a D8, got a 3. Rolled a D6, got a 3.
Right.
So for a total of 4 damage.
Yep. And then she's gonna like scoot back around the corner,
Yeah.
like, ah!
It looks in bad shape. Bad shape.
Get him, Mito.
So the face in the glass screen says, "Please, don't kill my creation. I'll show you the way out. I'll tell you where to go." Jimmy?
It's Ito's turn.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you,
Ito?
you
skipped Ito.
Yeah.
Ito, go ahead. What do you? What
I
would you like to
will
do?
pry the leg off of Skeeter's corpse,
Yes.
and I will rush forward with said leg
An attack.
and try to bludgeon this thing.
Nice. So you don't have it on your character sheet right now, but just roll. You can just
I'll just
roll
roll
a
my normal.
regular attack roll. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, such a hit. And then it's a D7 on damage. So you're going to do a -1 dice and roll a D8.
Okay.
Is there any, does Ito have
Nope.
+1 strength?
No. Actually, I think he has a -1. One.
Well, somehow we got
Oh no, no, he does have +1. He has +1.
Okay, so,
So -1,
-1.
D8.
Yeah.
5 damage.
5 +1, 6. You knock the robotic head right off the cyborg ant.
Ooh.
And it's like, yeah. Okay.
I hate that sound so much.
And the
Sounds
face
so
in,
moist.
The face in the glass is like, no! You fools! Look what you've done!
You brought this on yourself.
What would you like to do?
I believe you said you'd tell us the way out now, after we killed the monster?
Who says that?
Jimmy James Jr. the Third.
He's like,
Esquire.
rotten hell, dog boy.
I would like to smash the screen with the leg.
Okay. So sure enough, you hit the glass, and there's like the little spider like web fractures that like go out from where you hit.
I guess it's probably a little messed up from the grenade as well.
He says, your attacks against the walls are of no significance to me. The overmind.
I'll grab the rod off of Skeeter's corpse
Okay.
and put it in my pack. And I'm going to check the door back here because I saw a door.
Sure. Hold on. There is a door.
Or maybe we should scope out the rest of the room
this
first.
Door, I don't think the lock is working, but that door is actually locked.
Because he's gonna pick the hoe back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vega's gonna grab her spear as well.
I'm gonna move some of those things back to the party sheet here. So the metal club I'm gonna put back in the party sheet. The rod back in the party sheet.
Oh yeah, give me that leg.
So those are back in the party sheet for those that said they were going to take them off of Skeeter's dead body. This door is locked, but it reacts when you bring that skull that you found upstairs near it.
Oh,
And-
okay.
The thing in the eye?
Yeah, and unlocks when that comes close.
Okay. Yeah, Tech is the one that's got that.
Yeah. So we can open that now if it's not already opened. The room beyond this room has a long table and comfortable black chairs in its center. The table's flat surface is made up of one continuous glassy surface on which many small lights glow and dart about like fireflies. Colored gems and discs appear beneath the table's surface. On the walls are more glassy panels facing the chairs. Foreign images on the screens shift every few seconds, seemingly at random.
We need to find our way out of here, not play with those. They're scary.
Well, the only other way is a ramp back up to where the ants were. So there's another
I
door
thought you
back
said there was
here.
another door.
Yeah, there's another door here. Is it locked, or can I try that one?
It's locked as well, but
I just opened it. I'll close it again.
You have the quote-unquote key.
Okay.
The
We should
skull
probably
thing.
close the door behind us so nothing
Yeah.
can fall.
Once the girls get in here.
So there's a number of screens around the room, all showing different things, like a mountaintop military base patrolled by what appears to be rifle-toting Yetis. On another screen, there is an army of what appears to be pure-strain humans sneaking towards a village occupied by peaceful-looking mutants. On another screen, a glowing green octopus in the middle of a huge control room, its tentacles manipulating banks of table panels. The thing looks up, its inhuman eyes, as if it can sense you.
Does the village look familiar?
No.
Okay. It's not one of ours.
And then a little one of the screens changes with like a picture-on-picture of that little sort of green face again. And he's like, "Fine, take the door. Leave.
We're trying to.
And don't ever come back."
I don't want to.
Gladly. You're a bit
I
of a
will-
jerk.
I will have my revenge.
I'm going to come back into this room. You said there were 9 drawer things in the wall, right?
Yeah, there
You
are.
kidnapped us.
Let's see if I can get those open and look at what's in them.
Okay, so it's just like 333. So where do you want to start?
Top left.
Top left.
Yeah.
Inside that there is a baton.
I'll hand
Like
it to whoever wants it.
A weapon like baton.
I'll
Anybody?
like hold stuff because I have a bag, so like I can hold stuff.
I have a bag.
Okay,
Yeah, but
We
you're
can just-
using it as a blanket right now.
we can load up the bag, I guess, and identify stuff later. So
Yeah.
I'll just put the rod, or not the rod, whatever that was, baton in the bag,
Yes. Okay.
and I'll go top middle.
Top middle, you find a number of 5 injectors with some
Sweet.
sort of fluid.
Do they look like
inside.
the same as the other injectors we found?
Similar but not the same.
Okay, in the bag they go.
Mhm.
Middle.
Middle
didn't- was gonna
is
say-
empty.
Bottom right.
Boom.
Bottom right, you find an F cell, which is a type of battery.
So
Ooh.
that's not the one for the Gauser rifle, is it?
It'll tell you on the Gaza rifle whether it uses F cells or C cells or
Gauser rifle. Click on the dragon thing.
yeah, it should tell you there. If not, I will look it up for you, but probably good to take the F cell.
Yeah. Maybe we should bring it regardless, but
Yes, it'll go in the bag because it doesn't tell me on the
Okay.
sheet.
No problem.
So now top right,
Top right, empty.
middle right.
Middle right, there is a small leatherette book.
I don't know how to read. I'll throw it in the bag.
Okay.
Bottom left.
Bottom left, as you pull it out, you see this small insect-like creature with a human-like face. He has control panels and screens all around him, and it is the face that you see on all the glass.
I
things
punch
around
it as hard
And
as
it's
I
like,
can.
Pay no attention to that bug in the box.
I punch the bug as hard as I can.
Okay. Wham! Give me a roll to hit.
Like
Like in a drawer.
any attack.
Yes,
I'll
he's
use
in,
the,
he's in a drawer. Exactly.
I'm using the bone club attack. Oh, that was almost a 1. Whew,
Yeah.
I missed.
Okay, you miss, and he flies out like some sort of locust-like creature, very small, and makes a dart to rush down the hallway towards the ramp in that direction.
I shoot him. I missed again.
So what do you shoot with the
The Gauser
Gauser?
rifle.
Okay, so it opens up with the Gauser rifle like, let's rock! And this little bug thing is like, he flies away down the tunnel. And then you can hear the sounds of the ant-men arriving.
time
on
to
the
go.
level
Time
from
to
the
go.
ramp.
Time to go.
Middle left and bottom middle.
Okay, middle left. Middle left is some sort of multi-tool or something. It looks
Perfect.
like a compact handheld tool of some type.
I'll pocket that and go bottom middle. I mean, bag, pocket, something.
Bottom middle, there is a leatherette bag.
I'm going to rub it on my face and look at Judy and wink.
Inside, you can feel that there are a number of things clanking around in it.
Perfect.
We'll worry about it later.
Let's run.
Okay, so you run through this, you run through the next door, and there is I don't know if it's showing you the dotted line, but just a moment. I'm going to drag your characters somewhere, okay?
Okay.
Am I able to pick up all the characters?
You should be able to.
Do I have to shift click everybody?
Yep.
I think Ito is standing on Jimmy Jr. though.
Yeah, so so helpful. There, I think I got everybody. Please stand by. Oh, now that's not working. There we go.
I feel like I should start adding to Jimmy James's name again like last time.
I think
We're
you
just gonna
should.
pick up
I'm
on-
actually disappointed you got rid of everything.
Well, I couldn't remember the whole thing, so I had to start over. There's only so much I can see on the screen at one time.
Why is it not letting me take you there?
Is it a brand new map?
Like I'm the DM. I should be able to pick you up and drop you anywhere, shouldn't I? Doesn't matter.
Well,
I'll just describe it. You run down a long ramp tunnel, and at the end you enter a room that is small and empty, but it does have a light in the ceiling, and there's another door. And the room is so small that when you bring the skull in, it automatically opens this next door. This door opens again, and now a ramp descends from the last room into a giant chamber. Cut into the living stone, The lights flicker from somewhere far above, and you see a huge, monstrous form, bigger than anything you've seen.
Oh,
The
no.
form is the size of several small huts joined together, and it has a bizarre, conical, snout-tipped blade. This big spiral, corkscrew-like blade on the front of it. Strangely, there is a small walkway that leads to a door that leads into this contraption. What awful witchcraft is this, you wonder?
This looks like awful witchcraft.
What
Looks
kind
like
of awful witchcraft?
Awful Witchcraft is my middle name.
Dude,
It's
That's
actually
a really
James.
terrible name.
Your name is really long.
it's really the only way we have to go unless you want to fight a bunch of ants. So let's
Not
go.
really. Okay.
Okay. So you walk out on this narrow walkway, and there's a door into the side of this sort of long metal shaped tube with what looks to be like a drill head on the front of it.
Seems safe.
Yep, sure. Sounds like a great idea.
This
I
is
feel good
the-
about this.
So as you open the door and make your way inside, you find like sophisticated panels with, buttons and switches.
I push them.
No.
Uh, as well, though, inside you find like sleeping chambers and bio facilities, even a pantry with what appears to be jars of rations or food and small pills.
We should
Ooh.
take those back to the village.
Are they blue or red?
They're triangular and blue, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Things are looking up for us, I think.
Ba-dum-bum.
Do you have
So
a
at the-
sound for that?
I
At
do.
the,
Boing.
at the very front of the cone shaped, there is a what appears to be a seat with the most buttons and levers and stuff like that.
Definitely calling my name. His Majesty the Honorable Dr. Mr. Jimmy James Jr. the Third Esquire takes his seat.
I
Okay.
forgot your middle name.
Oh, danger. No,
You-
James.
So as you
No, I
sit
said
down-
James.
as you sit down, the seat is so soft and comfortable, and you just kind of sink into it.
I love soft and comfortable things.
And
Come rub
there-
your face on my seat. It's comfortable.
As you sit in it, a small panel rises out of the side of the seat, and then these waves of light appear on it as you hear a very feminine voice. Hello, Captain. Please plot coordinates for our journey.
Make it so. Engage.
Please plot the coordinates, Captain.
Can I take a look and see if I can figure out how to put numbers in
Say Earl Grey. Huh.
or make it go up?
Who's gonna do that? Tech?
Yeah, Tech is probably the only one that I've got that could do it.
Okay, Tech. So Tech like starts looking for things, and does Tech even have a gender as a plant?
I
was
don't
about to
know.
say he
I-
or she.
Plants have
I've been
genders.
seeing-
That's true.
I've been saying she for both of my characters.
Okay,
but
okay. Then I'll go with that. So she starts to plug around, and on another screen in front of Jimmy James, basically like an alphabet and numeric system comes up, like A1, A2, A3, A4, A5,
Oh, boy.
B1, B2, B3, B4,
You sank my battleship.
and
Okay.
then the soft voice is like, Captain, choose a pre-designated waypoint.
Is there one for the surface?
All designations have a surface breach point.
B3.
I push
feel
one of
good
them
about
because
it.
good
Okay,
enough.
So as you go B3, she's like, thank you, Captain. B3.
Make it so.
At which point the thing that the panel there sort of slides to the side and sinks back down in the chair, and then like this this very soft boom boom boom. Captain has chosen a designated waypoint. Please find a comfortable seated position. Make sure all doors are in the locked and closed position.
Can we do that?
Enjoy your journey.
Judy immediately
there-
tries to find the softest, comfiest seat.
Okay.
I'm in it.
Okay. Does anyone check the door?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kezi
Yes.
for sure.
So as you go to make sure the door is closed, it is closed, but there is a small portal that you look out of, and you realize that you're now starting to move. But you can see on that gangplank that came out to this device, there's now a group of drone ants, and they're like waving their weapons at you angrily. As you then hear the drill start to bite into rock, and then the thing accelerates, and you sort of feel inertia. And it's running underground for the best. Like everything goes dark, but the soft glow of the lights inside the capsule remain.
Okay. Well, that's fun, I guess.
Captain, estimated arrival time 3 days.
Oh boy.
A2?
Would you like to reroute, Captain?
Which is the closest?
What's the shortest predetermined destination? Travel time.
A1 is approximately 1 day, 6 hours.
A1. Please divert course.
As you wish, Captain. Then like, boom.
Does it hang a Yuri?
The capsule will be making a hard bank. Please hold on to something and remain seated until the bank is complete.
Kezi frantically tries to find a chair.
At which point, you guys feel like it turns sort of on its side almost, and everyone is grabbing onto something, and then it starts to level out again. It
Okay.
is now safe to move about the cabin. Enjoy your ride.
B5.
Stop pushing buttons.
E5. Z12.
Tech just stands there, and every time that Jimmy James starts to like push something, just like no.
Yeah, that totally tracks.
Okay, so the digger goes for a full day. You guys have a great night's rest inside this metal contraption. If you try food out of the pantry, the digger has a pantry that has 2 jars of 100 bow rations each.
Wow.
So that's 200 days of food.
We're
Favorite kind
taking
of-
that with us.
And
Oh,
the
heck
small
yeah.
small pills provide all nutrients, including water, to sustain life. So you have 200 pills to sustain yourself.
Nice.
And
Cool.
the digger can comfortably fit 12 people. So with what's left of the party, there's lots of room.
So we
Do-
wasted.
Do we get healing back from sleeping?
Yes, your characters heal up. Put yourself back at full hit points.
Do you know if this belt takes C cells or F cells? Doesn't say on the belt.
Let me check that for you. That's are you talking about the force field belt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the Gaza rifle as well, if you could check, please.
Yep.
What kind of cell did we get? F?
An F, yeah.
So the force field belt requires a C cell, and so does the Gaza rifle, a C cell.
Okay.
Are
There's
there
an F.
any C cells on the drill?
You look around?
Yeah.
No, there's nothing like that aboard the drill. No, nothing at all.
So
In
just
that
the food
regard.
tablets, and that's about it?
Just the food tablets, sleeping quarters, the bathroom, like everybody can clean up, etc. After a day, oh no, Skeeter died. I was gonna say his hive mind thing drops away, but
It dropped away immediately when I got my head caved in by a antenna dart.
yeah, exactly. So listen, a day and 6 hours. The soft voice comes back and says, "Captain, we're nearing our breach point."
Can we
Okay.
look at the other items during that time that we're traveling?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got a whole sack of stuff there.
Yeah,
Is
there
there a
was a
way to
lot.
do it safely?
You look at my wrench.
Sure.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Okay, let me get hold on a second. I gotta find
Maybe we could
the
wait, not
parses for all
die
this.
from looking at wrenches, if you want.
What's that?
I mean,
So
I
we
did
could wait.
use it to like bang that robo-ant's head in. So I think
So
it's
the
pretty sturdy.
baton that you found in the drawers is actually a force baton.
Oh.
Nice.
Beats a
And then
leg any day.
there are 5 medi shots, which can be used to heal. And then you have let's see here, middle center was a there was a multi-tool that I told you about, right?
Yep.
Multipass.
Multi-pass,
Multipath.
the small leatherette book,
Oh, very cool.
the leatherette bag.
Well, that book's not really useful anymore.
There's an F cell. Yeah, does it tell you there what the book is?
Yeah, it gives you the codes for a floor.
Yeah, it gives you the codes for all of the
Whoa.
the floor that was below the ants, but you had the skull, which bypasses most of everything that was there.
Wow, that bag's got some good shoes in it.
Yeah.
Good shoes.
Yeah.
Let's get some juice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we need
bag
to go
has
buy some shoes.
some diamonds, some platinum bars.
Yeah. What does the force baton says? It uses charges when you successfully strike something,
Yes.
but it doesn't say how many charges it has.
Oh, it has 20 charges.
Okay. That thing's pretty good.
Yeah.
The baton also uses a C cell. That's correct.
Okay.
So Kezi's got a hoe and that's it. So
You want
if
a baton?
nobody wants that, she'll take it.
Okay.
Go
It
for
says
it.
the multi tool is used for. Oh, it's tech level 5. Never mind. Does that mean you have a tech level 5 to use it, or that's
Well,
just
the ability to use tech level goes up as you level up as well. Remember.
I see. Okay.
You're
Can
just
you put the
level
rod
0 right now. So.
back into the party sheet from Skeeter's body?
I think I did, didn't I?
I don't see it on the party sheet.
Okay, hold on. Someone must have grabbed it because I think I
Rod,
put
we
it in
trust.
there.
Or maybe it's in my inventory. Yeah, sorry, I did. I'll put it back on the party sheet.
No, that's okay. So you guys take your time and you've sort of figured out roughly what everything does. Some of it is still well above your abilities to use, but you have a general idea of how it works and whatnot.
You identify my wrench, please.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I guess
Oh.
the rod too.
Here, I'll put the clamp. I do the clamp.
Ooh, grav clamp.
I think the rod was too high of a tech level for us to do, wasn't it?
Who has the wrench? Judy?
Judy does.
Okay. Inventory.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is it a wrench of smashing?
No,
The
it's
big
literally-
wrench.
It's literally called a big wrench. It's literally called a big wrench. It's like, yeah. So listen, there is a crumbling of rock sound, and then all of a sudden, natural light floods in from the port windows and you feel your digger sort of gently climb out of the dirt and lie down flat on the ground.
Look out one
Destination
of the
arrived,
portholes.
Captain. So as you look out the porthole, you find yourself in a on the edge of a jungle. But where the porthole is looking out, there is nothing but barren wastes. These are the glow wastes that we've talked about. High radiation levels. The further you venture out into them, they're sort of rocky and barren, and there's all sorts of rocky formations that stand very tall in like a desert-like scene. The sand and grit out the window looks sort of like an orangey rust color, but the digger is just inside a jungle, so there's a few trees before you get to that vista, and you can see plants and other fauna around the digger, so you don't think it's unsafe to get out.
So from what we see then, would we be able to orient ourselves back towards our village then?
You know that
Villages?
the glow wastes were well north of your village, like a good week north of your village. So you're not sure how far the ants carried you, right? So
Mhm.
you went looking for your rite of passage, these instruments of the ancients, in a number of local ruins to where your villages were located. And then when you didn't find anything, you started to venture further north. And then at some point, your memories may be clearing a bit. You can remember ants flying down at you from all directions. And then you can only assume you were hit by their saliva. And then you're not sure how far they took you to their lair, or even like the ant lair that you were in, you have no idea where that was positionally to your town. So you are, for all intents and purposes, lost.
Well, we're in this safe capsule that goes underground and has predetermined destinations. Why don't we just keep going through the list until we recognize something close to the village?
That sounds like a good idea.
A2.
We have 200 days worth of food and water.
Mm-hmm.
A2?
Okay, with that, as you guys are talking, you can hear something tapping on the top of the capsule.
Go away, we don't want any.
We're closed.
There's like gunk, gunk, gunk. It sounds like metal on metal.
No, thank you.
We have a big wrench.
And a leg club.
So you can't see what it is. Like out your port hatch on the door, you can only see like a little bit of jungle and then the glow wastes.
I'll clunk back where it's clunking.
Okay.
I'll
Sort
do
of
shave and a haircut.
Shave and a haircut. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dun dun.
I'll move a little further back and do it again.
Nothing. You then hear the skittering of movement across the top of the. It does not sound like humanoid feet or anything.
Minox.
It's a skittering.
Want me to get out and push?
I'll sit
let's
back in
just
the
leave.
chair. Does the screen pop back up?
What's that?
If I sit back in the captain's chair, does the screen pop up again?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Go to
and you know how to bring up the destinations.
Okay, so anybody feeling a certain coordinate or not? Maybe B3 was the right choice.
I'm gonna just say that there's letters A to C, a 1 to 5 on each, so there's 15 pre-programmed destinations. And this, sorry, I don't even remember the one you chose.
A1.
A1.
Oh, that's right.
We started with B3,
no,
then we switched to A1.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, B3 is like right in the middle, but who knows where they're plotted.
How long is the destination A2?
To A2?
Mm-hmm.
2 days.
And can you tell us how fast you travel? Oh, voice of the machine that we're in, at your mercy?
Of course, Captain. The Mole 3000 travels roughly 200 miles in a day.
What power is this? Is this all like battery power?
The Mole 3000 uses C cells.
Okay, we're walking. Let's get the C cells. We need them for all of our stuff. What is your current battery charge?
C cells running at 50%, Captain. 15
Ooh.
days of travel remain.
Oof.
15 or 50?
15.
Well, why don't we go to A2, see if it's closer to where we're trying to go, or if it's further away, then we can figure that out. It doesn't show where the destinations are, right? Just a list of destinations.
No,
So
it
ask the
doesn't.
computer if there's a map.
Were there any
Do
sort
you-
of like landmarks around our home?
Yeah, there's. I'm gonna say that there's a pair of mountains that you guys simply refer to as the Twins, and they, your villages sort of rested around a pair of valleys that sit below the Twins.
Nestled between the Twins. Got it.
The peaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
Or in the valley
describe
between
that
the
to the
peaks, yeah.
Can we describe that to the computer and ask if that matches any references?
And
Is that
would,
what tech does?
Yes.
Please.
and we
stand
know
by,
it's about
Captain.
a week's walk south of here, right?
Well, you
at
don't know
least.
how long the
But yeah,
ants
we don't
had
know
you
how
for.
long how fast we walk.
No, well, it's the ants, right? That they had you, and who knows how long they
Oh,
flew
right.
with you. Right?
No, but
You
we
just
know that the
don't know.
marsh was like a week's, or the whatever the blight lands were a week's travel north of where our village is, right?
So you ask for a map?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or if that description matches anything in their records.
I'm sorry, Captain. I am unable to establish a link to the global positioning system.
Of course.
What's the global positioning system?
Yeah, nobody knows what.
The what? The what?
Do you have battery backups?
The voice says, our batteries have 15 days of power remaining.
So no.
We could do one more jump safely and then walk from there. Try to figure it out.
Well, A1 was basically 1 day, 6 hours from where. So
From the hive.
So
Wait.
well, you traveled 1 day and 6 hours. You know that this thing does 200 miles in a day. You are 200 miles away, more than 200 miles away from the hive.
What
where you're
location did we start at?
B1.
Do we know?
We literally just went
Would
over.
you like to return to our station, B1?
No.
No.
Even Judy's like, no, I
No.
don't want to go back there. This is Vega because she's smarter.
Yeah.
By one. Do we know from our village
You do know. So I
how to
mean,
get to the glow wastes?
the glow wastes are very large and expansive, but
Yeah.
you do know that they're north of your villages.
I'll ask the computer what
Okay.
predetermined destinations are south of our current location.
All C locations are south, Captain.
Well, now we've only
Captain?
got 5 locations to check. Yes.
Something has accessed the battery source.
Boy.
I'm not
Can you
See
kill
one.
it?
Where's the battery located?
In my rear.
Outside or inside?
Batteries must be accessed from an external exhaust port, Captain.
Oh, that was the skidder. Let's go get it.
Before it makes off with our battery.
I got my
Are
big
you-
wrench. Let's go.
Okay.
Got my big wrench.
So
Okay.
we're gonna check the port before we open the damn door.
So you look outside the port and nothing. Like you
I'll,
don't see anything.
I turn the force field belt back on. And I
What
grab
happens if we
the
just
light
fire
pump.
up the engine? If it's in the exhaust port, can we cook it?
It's a good idea, but let's go and
Let's
make
go
sure
shoot.
it has.
Let's go shoot into the exhaust port first.
Yeah.
Do it. That seems like a much safer idea. Gaza rifle ready.
Okay.
Got the baton.
I'm gonna
So-
slam a soggy bread first, just for luck.
Okay, a soggy bread beer.
Yeah.
Listen, so you guys, you slam your beer and you open the side portal of the digger, and you are immediately hit by an intense wave of humid heat.
It's moist out here.
Not uncommon for Terra AD, but this is much hotter and humid than you're used to from the Twin Mountains. We'll call them Twin Peaks. I like that.
The sisters.
You want to call them the sisters? The sisters. What are their names?
Sure.
What are their names? Maybe chat could give us the names of the mountains.
Left and right. One's a little bigger than the other.
Oh,
Julie
that how it
Jane
works?
and
Surprisingly, yes.
do we have names for the peaks? Is Titans?
Titans.
Titans. I like Titans. Okay.
Yeah.
Titan Peaks.
Titan and Tata.
Okay. There we have them. Titan and Tata. The
Gosh,
two mountains
fire.
that you're from. Okay. So you climb out and onto the ground, and it's very soft here. There's a lot of this lichen-like moss growing all over the ground, and it's sort of a violet color. And there are these massive trees around you that stretch for like hundreds of feet into the sky. It is day right now, but there's a sort of a gray, gloomy overcast, and you cannot see clear sky anywhere. As you get out, though, you can definitely hear like the clunk and clank of something digging around in the back of the digger.
Hey! Stop it!
Nothing.
Go and wag my wrench at them.
Okay. So Judy is going to lead the way.
Sure. What could go
Okay.
wrong?
So Judy leads the way and rounds the back, and there is sort of what appears to be a centipede. 10
Ew.
feet of it extending out the back of your digger. It has clawed its way through an access door, and the back haunch of it winds its way out. And it's twitching.
I shoot it.
Okay, what are we shooting it with?
The Gaza rifle.
Okay. Hang on.
Judy screams and hides behind Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy's shooting from the rear, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Not from the hip.
Well, from the hip, from the rear of the hip.
Okay.
I think that's the piriformis. I'm going to shoot the part that's not inside the digger, because I don't want to shoot the digger.
Okay, let's take a very quick break
Mhm.
because we haven't had one tonight, and I'm just getting the combat tracker ready, and then we'll come back and try to get this thing out of the back of your digger.
You gotta take it out of the rear.
Get it right out in just a minute. Hello, we're back.
We're back.
And freaking out about a centipede.
Okay, so you guys were going to attack this thing. So, do you want to roll initiative, or do you want me to just do the group initiative? How do you want to work this?
Rolling initiative's fun.
Okay, go ahead and roll initiative. I like it if you guys roll initiative, actually. That's great. Okay. Okay,
Dang,
so
Kezzy.
so first to go is going to be Kezi.
Yeah.
So right now there is about 10 feet of centipede sticking out of the back of the digger.
Okay, well, all Kezi's got is, well, first they're gonna throw their hoe because that's less
That's
impressive.
what they do.
Yep.
Didn't they crit the last time they threw their hoe?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I don't think you got... There's no shame there.
Throw that hoe.
Nice! That hit it. How much damage?
1.
As-
One. Vega?
It looked really impressive, but it was sort of weak.
So the hoe, like, flies through the air and boonk off this thing's back end.
Vega's gonna attack with her spear
Okay.
on the butt.
On the butt.
On the butt.
Ooh.
16.
Oh, you guys are doing great. That hits too. How much damage?
6 damage.
Nice. Okay. It's the creature's turn. So the centipede quickly backs out, and as it backs out, it is this centaur cross between a centipede and a gorilla.
That's
Hard to-
horrible.
That is not okay.
I'm not okay with this.
And so it turning and seeing Vega the closest, it like crawls towards her, sort of skittering on its legs, but also pulling across the ground with these big ape-like arms. And then it leans into bite, and its ape mouth sort of opens in all directions like some sort of insect maw, and tries to bite.
No,
Bite Vega.
thank you. No. Says Judy from the back.
Does a 12 hit?
Yeah, it does.
For 2 damage.
Vega's dead.
So you guys watch as this centa-ape beast grabs poor Vega. I love that you put rip Vega. Rip. And does Vega scream anything as a last word? Do you want to?
Why did we leave the digger?
Why? His Majesty, the Honorable Dr. Mr. etc.
Sir Jimmy James Jr. III, Esquire. Well, we're just gonna open fire with the Gauser rifle because
I like that
I'd
idea.
like to hit with it at some point.
Okay.
Does a
Ooh.
15 hit?
It does hit. Pardon me. It does hit.
Okay.
Oh shoot!
So
I forgot
we're-
it's their attack. You got lucky. Okay.
A whopping 2 damage.
2 damage. And actually, I'm just going to jump into the initiative here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of you left, so I'm just going to roll a d6. If I get a 6, I'm going to say it affects 2. Kezi, the back of the centipede. It sort of has it opens up, and it sprays all this white gooey crud out in a 30-foot line at Kezi. And can I have Kezi make a reflex save? The DC is 10.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
We still have a dice boost. You can use the dice boost.
We do have a
How do
dice
I-
boost. We've used
Okay,
our
how do I
reroll.
do that?
You just at the bottom, you hit the +1d.
Okay.
Bottom left corner. Do you see that?
And then a reflex save.
And then a reflex save. Mm-hmm.
And we have a reroll as well. And another player buff.
There we go. Kezi, that
Thanks,
did not
Ghosty.
succeed. If you would like, Ghosty has just given another reroll and another buff. So if you'd like, you can reroll that.
Yes, please.
Go ahead and reroll that. Make sure you got the +1 dice.
Oh,
that's
whoops.
okay. Let's do it again then. Hit the +1 dice and give me another reflex save.
Reflex.
I'll be right back. I got a situation.
There we go.
What
A
the-
2. That is no luck. No luck at all. When it's rolling the funny dice, it doesn't show up right. So Kezi is just covered in this white, sticky goop that then quickly hardens. Now, Kezi cannot move without making a strength check to break free or having someone else break you out.
That'll
But you
go
are
great.
You are stuck in place. Ito?
Just go back to the
Right.
ship and go.
Ito, it's your turn. Kezi
Uh,
has just been covered in white goo. and it has stuck them in place.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit this thing with my leg club.
Nice. Go get him, Ito. Give him the boot.
Ugh.
That does not hit, Ito. Judy?
Judy is terrified of bugs.
Of course she is.
Is that Affy or Judy?
Judy,
Yes.
but also Affy.
So what does Judy do then?
She's
It's not
still.
necessarily a bug. It is part ape.
That doesn't make it better. That just makes it more horrifying. She's still standing behind Jimmy, pointing and screaming.
Yes.
So that's all she does for her turn.
Lovely. Lovely. Tech?
Yeah. Tech is gonna. Oh god, I don't know. Tech's gonna hook their spear.
Okay, throw that spear. Throw it real good.
13.
Okay. That does penetrate its fleshy parts. Ooh, 7 damage.
Nice.
That is very good. Okay.
That's what I got.
Can you see the Senta ape on the
No.
It's not on the
No.
tracker, no.
Oh, I haven't. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. Kezi.
Oh, they're gonna try to break out of the
So you're
goo.
gonna make a strength check, and its strength. The DC is 12.
Well, that'll go swimmingly. Yep.
It did not work. Did not work. So it's the ape's turn. So the ape lumbers forward on its hands with its skittering butt behind it, right towards Kezi, and attacks it. Attacks Kezi. Now, because you're stuck in its goo, it's getting a +2 dice modifier.
Oh, shit.
So it got a 28. Oh, it got a crit. Nice.
Oh,
nice.
well.
So
Rip
this
Oh, there
Kezi.
goes Kezi.
this attack will inflict an extra 3 damage.
I mean, that alone does Kezi in, so she's dead. She's very
13
dead.
damage to Kezi.
Ouch.
It then turns its tail. Let's see. Who will it be?
Why'd we get out of the digger?
I don't know, but we
Because
should
we
go back.
wanted the
It's
batteries.
so is Kezi dead?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there's
Kezi had
4 of you
3
left.
freaking hit points.
Everybody has 1 character left. Who has the lowest luck?
Judy actually has a 16.
Hold on, let me check. I'm at 8.
His Majesty has 9.
Tech has 8.
So the lowest are Tech and Ito. So let's have each of you roll a d20, and whoever gets the lowest, that's who the beast is going. That's who the Senta ape sprays its cocoon spray at. So Ito has a 12. And what does
Go.
Tech get?
Why is that not working? Go in
There you
there
go.
where you belong.
Well, that was Kezi, but that's okay. We'll take the d20 roll anyways. So Tech gets sprayed. So I need Tech to make a reflex save. The DC is 10 to avoid the white goop. If you'd
That's a 4.
we forgot about this mechanic, but if you'd like, you could spend 4 luck on that reflex save.
Yeah, but they don't come back, right?
No, they don't. Unless I
Yeah.
give you a luck reward.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so Tech is now covered in goo and holding in one place. His Majesty, the Honorable Dr. Mr. etc.
Sir Jimmy James Jr. III, Esquire, PhD,
What do you do?
RSE. I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, that was on a 13, not a 5. Boo.
You do not hit.
No, you're correct.
Ito stepped away from his chair. I assume he's going to swing his mighty boot.
I think so.
Das Boot.
Maybe I
Does
can
he have any
just go
grenades
into-
left?
No, he
Nope.
does not.
I blew up a robot with it though.
Yeah, you did.
2 robots.
How come you don't have the boot club in your character sheet there? Do we
It's
need-
in my inventory, but it didn't drag over to as a weapon for some reason.
You have to equip it, I think.
Yeah. It needs to have the
In your
t-shirt
inventory?
icon.
Inventory.
If it's got a bag, click the bag icon, it'll turn to a t-shirt, meaning it's
Yeah.
equipped.
There we go. Okay, and now it's there, and we're going to put it on 2 hands. Okay, Ito.
Okay, hitting them with the boot.
Yes, you are.
Do we have any reroll?
Fumble.
Oh, yeah, reroll.
I don't think we have a reroll, do we?
I don't think
No.
you can.
It was used already.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah. So fumble 3 on the great fumble table. And fumble 3 is your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly grab it, but your grip is disrupted and you take a -2 penalty on your next attack roll.
We just got one if you are okay with it being used. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
we
If
have them.
Ghostly bought you one, you can re-roll that if you'd like.
A reroll and a buff.
So we have 2
Well,
buffs.
So I think we have 2 buffs now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just take the miss, and I'm fine with that.
It's all good, Ghosty. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Judy. Could Judy be the one that saves the day? Is that
Judy, go wrench that ape.
I will take the player buff.
Yeah.
That
give you
gives
an
me
extra-
a
plus
1d.
1d.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of like,
She's charging in.
I guess.
Critical hit.
Nice. Way to go, Judy.
Judy is angry.
She does not like bugs.
A 3 on the critical hit table gives us a so you did 5 damage with the wrench,
Mm-hmm.
and then the critical hit table, which is a 3, says a stunning crack to the forehead. You inflict another D3 damage with the strike, and the foe falls to the bottom of the initiative count next round.
I don't know how to do D3. Is that it? Yeah.
You
That's
can roll. You can always roll a D6, and we can have it. Okay, so a total of 7 damage. Judy just hammers this thing.
Ah!
It might be the power of the wrench,
It's the
and you
big,
actually
big
you
wrench of
actually, like-
aping from now on.
like this big welt of forms on the ape's head. Massive. Tech.
They're gonna try and get out of the goop.
Yep. So a strength check, and the DC is 12. You
Oh,
break free.
13.
You break free. That's good. Top of the round. This is when this actually falls to the bottom of the round. How do I change its initiative? Oh, there we go.
Yep.
So we're back to His Majesty, as Judy's attack has just stunned the creature.
Ah!
Oh,
Fumble.
my
come on
gosh.
now.
If it's stunned, shouldn't we have
Do
advantage?
we have a reroll?
Yes, we have a
No.
reroll.
Yeah, no, that reroll got used as soon as it was bought. Ryan used
Oh,
it.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
that's right.
All that's left is a player buff. So 3 on the fumble is that you have -2 on your next attack roll. So keep that in mind.
No,
At least it
Um,
didn't break.
or explode and hurt us.
Ito.
I'm gonna use that player buff.
Okay, so you're gonna
Oh, we had a
plus 1
player
dice.
buff.
And we have another reroll.
So hold on a sec. We're using up and another player buff. So after Ryan's gonna use the +1 dice, and then we still have a +1 dice and a reroll available to the group.
Yes.
That's a crit.
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, wait, wrong one.
Oh, wrong one.
Well, the first one was for me and my critical failure.
Yeah.
So a 2, it says the foe is jabbed in the eye,
With the foot.
ugly bruising, and inflicts 1d4 damage extra with this strike. So roll your damage and then roll a d4.
You just gave it athlete's foot in the eye from the android leg.
Oh my
So-
gosh! You've
Success.
you've defeated the Centa ape
Ah!
as it's stunned and like reeling from the pain of the wrench. It takes a boot in the eye. Head goes down. It just slumps onto the ground.
Does it have batteries? I'm checking it for batteries.
It does not have batteries.
Tech
Does
is
it have
just like,
anything?
ugh.
Does it have a leg I can take off and use as a club?
Well, as you survey like what it was doing, it looks like the battery, it had bit the battery. It was maybe feeding on the C cell, and there's a bit of a drip coming down the side of the battery.
No.
Of course. I mean, we do have a spare C cell.
No, we don't.
We
have an
do? No, we have an F cell.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
we
you
had
have an
a
F cell.
C cell too.
No, all of our
you
stuff
could
that
take
we
the
have.
C cell out of one of your other things and plug it
Oh.
into the.
Do we have any duct tape?
Sure.
We've got a multi-tool.
Yeah.
I think the baton that Kezzy has runs on C cell too, so you could take that
Yeah.
off of her body and take it out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the C cell's just damaged. It's not necessarily.
Well, we'll
unusable.
definitely take the baton.
I would like
Yeah.
to duct tape the C cell.
I think you could probably shoot the C cells in an improvised explosive, Ghosty. I think that's entirely possible. Okay, so
Stop
do you-
giving us good ideas.
what do you do?
Back in
Well,
the ship and
Get
go.
the hell out of here.
well, yeah, we'll loot Kezzy's corpse. Sorry, Kezzy. Much
No
respect.
worries.
We'll
Rip.
take all the shinies, rip, and then we'll pick a C location. Why don't we go C3? It's right in the middle of the 1 to 5. And
Okay.
see where that takes us, because it's going to be
Oh,
south somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay,
You guys
So-
all right with that?
so you're getting back into the digger, and you're like, shall we go to C, whatever you choose? And which one do you pick?
Let's go C3. Why not?
C3?
Why are you rolling?
To see how many weeks it takes.
C3 will be 5 days.
It leaves us 10-ish.
1,000
And if
miles?
we
I-
pilfer one of the
put
C
the-
cells from something else.
I put the force baton back in the party sheet, by the way. Can Tech grab their spear before we leave?
Oh yeah.
Why don't you give Tech the force baton?
Sure.
Because you got a strength bonus, right?
So as everybody's boarding the ship and that, and you're laying in the course, Captain, the computer goes, Captain, there is an obstruction in the way of the drill. Sensors indicate a life form. Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Can we see out the front?
No.
Yeah, well, no, we're just leaving. Just kill it.
Hopefully
Okay.
it's
What
the
kind of
Overmind.
life form?
Is it
Impossible.
humanoid?
Impossible to identify.
Go. Make it
Is
so.
it, is
Engage.
it underground?
No, it's on the surface.
What size is it?
Unable to determine.
Just go. Just go.
Let me see what it is.
No, it's a trap.
It's detecting a life form in the way of the drill, but it's not.
Yes. In
Computer,
the way
can
that
you rotate 90 degrees?
Yes, Captain. And it starts.
I just want to rotate so we can see out the side port what this
Okay.
thing is.
As you look out the side port, it's not one thing, but there is a dozen humans, mutants, plantoids. All
Do any of them look
standing-
familiar?
Oh, they're back up there.
Computer, rotate back to original orientation and go to C3 immediately.
Yes, Captain.
We're so paranoid.
Yeah.
Okay, so it brings the nose back around and then immediately plunges forward.
Yep.
I'm
And
such a jerk.
No.
And you're on and you're en route for 5 days. Are you eating the pills?
Sure.
Yeah.
So during your 5-day journey, the computer warns you that there is some sort of deteriorating effect on the C cell. So even though it's that leak that the ape caused. So you actually went through 9 days of fuel instead of 5 days of fuel, reaching C3. Okay.
Okay.
And
Puts us at like 4 days worth of fuel left.
9 days.
9
with
days
fuel
left.
9 days left.
Oh, 9 days left. Okay.
Okay. So the thing it goes again through its hole that it's about to surface, and boom, 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 and then out it comes. And this time, when you look out your porthole, the digger has arrived beside a large crystalline-like lake.
Well, that looks nice.
Anything we recognize from remotely close to the village?
No.
I think we're too far south.
How many days to see one?
Please stand by. 3 days to see one.
Should we keep exploring?
Yeah.
You're in a jungle, and the jungles actually do look familiar. Like a lot of the fauna and flora and fauna, you're recognizing plants. But whether you're near, like the lake, is not recognizable to you.
Yeah.
I
So
like
we
C.
keep trying.
All
I
right.
like C1. If that's not it, we'll try C2, and then we're probably out of juice.
Well, we can just take one of the other sea cells out of something else.
I guess that's true.
That's true. All right. See when it is.
So that's a 2-day journey. So we're down to 7 days on the sea cell.
I think you said 3.
Yeah, you did say 3.
Oh, pardon me, 3. Yep. So we're down to 4 days on the cell.
6 days.
6 days. Because we had 9.
It was at 9.
Pardon me.
Okay, math
Math.
sucks.
Math is hard. Math is hard at this time of night. Okay, so listen. The drill, like it starts making really strange sounds as you're starting to surface.
Oh no.
It's drill in it.
What's wrong? Hello?
Captain, there is strange materials at the surface destination.
Organic?
No.
We just drilled into our town.
Can you say what it is?
Unsure at this point. And then it's like telling you when it's going to surface. It's like 3, 2, 1, surface. But it keeps climbing.
We got a
Like
mountain.
it launched
Oh.
itself out of.
We might be
Oh, we're
in one
inside a
of
building.
Titans or Tatas. We might be in one of the mountains.
As you breach the surface and the drill continues to climb up, you hear all sorts of screeching and grinding against the hull.
I don't think that's the mountains.
Can
Can
we
we
see
level
out the
it?
port?
Yes. You are climbing through some sort of
Anthill?
no, some sort of structure.
Like steel frame
Yeah.
structure, some.
Yeah, you see
Okay.
you see metal girder like and concrete.
Came out in one of the ruins.
Can we get it to level out instead of climbing? So we come out of it?
Are you gonna ask it to?
I'm not the captain.
Captain.
Yes. Good
You want-
idea.
so you
Before we
tell
get too high.
You tell it to stop digging.
Yeah.
Just as you're like, stop. Okay, stop digging. Like, shut the drill down. The drill suddenly you lurch forward. Like all resistance stops, and suddenly like you get this burst of speed a bit. You tell it to stop, and then she's like, "We've come to a stop," and it's like you feel the whole cylinder start to tip a bit,
Everybody run to the back of the
Run to the
ship.
back.
and then it just sort of stops, and there's a precarious sort of rock to the to the to the vehicle.
How high up are we? Can we tell from looking out the port?
You go over and look out the port, and you can just tell that like you're looking into some sort of a concrete structure. There is a little bit of light from outside, and there's a strange sort of like pitter patter on the hull of on the front part of the hull.
Oh, not another centipede gorilla.
No, it doesn't sound like anything like that.
Not another centaur lizard alligator.
Okay, what do we do now?
Drill it to
Do you
death.
know of any
Captain, I
structures that
believe
are
our
really
surroundings are unstable.
I agree. Stabilize.
What'd you say, Artemis?
Do we know of any like old one structures that are near our village?
Yeah, there was about 3 because you would have investigated them to look for artifacts before you moved further north.
Well, I don't think we'll be able to safely use the digger again, depending on how high up we are. We may not survive the fall back to the ground to start digging.
Does this thing go in reverse?
Beep, 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 beep. Did you just start beeping to hope it...
You can try to reverse it if you'd like.
I'll ask the computer if it can reverse 50 meters
Carefully.
slowly.
Of course, Captain. And it tries to do that, and sort of you are no longer precariously tipping back and forth like this. You feel like it grabs something and starts to back up, and then there is a really loud grinding, and the lights flicker inside the hull, and then she's like, and then it stops. We appear to be snagged on something, Captain.
All right, it's time for a
Perhaps
digger walk.
Perhaps an excavation team should be dispatched?
Perfect. Make it so.
Captain, I do not possess the ability to do that.
Well, great.
Please utilize your
Please stand by.
Please utilize your team to
Please stand by.
excavate the Mole 3000.
Please stand by.
Oh, I guess we
I guess
take
we're
a
going
look.
out to fight a
Building?
raccoon lemur thing.
So who's opening the hatch first?
Yes.
Edo, Judy, His Majesty, Tech.
Yes.
Nose
Really
goes.
not Jack.
No.
You're last,
Oh,
Artemis.
you're last.
Oh,
Tech, you have the door.
sure. Why not?
The
I have
computer's
to
like,
stay with the
Like-
computer.
even the computer's like, be well, Tech.
They got their little force baton and they're just like, oh, this is not a good idea. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm gonna bring the multi-tool.
Open the fucking door. Freaking door.
So you open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it creaks open, and you can now hear what that tapping on the hull is. It's rain.
Oh. Okay.
And the digger is probably about 30 feet up off the ground in a building and half out of a building. And when you backed up, you have backed into the metal superstructure of the building, and the digger looks like it's impaled in a number of places on metal girders.
Okay. I explained that to the group.
Well, do you recognize the buildings?
Do I recognize these ruins?
Give me an intelligence check.
That'll go great. Let's see here.
Nope,
8.
these ruins look like many ruins you've seen. They could be the ruins near your village. You're not sure. It would take some more. Like you're only in one of them, so maybe you need to look around.
I don't recognize these ones. We're gonna have to go outside.
Well, it doesn't look like we have much of a choice, so
Yeah.
I say
Okay.
It's only a 30-foot drop. We'll probably survive it.
Wrench. Bag. Good to go.
Does it look like we could maybe find a way to safely climb down the building?
Are you gonna go to a window?
Like, I don't know.
Are you that terrified to look out a window?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There might be a, I don't know,
Yeah.
salamander spider out there.
Just cross two animals.
Like,
That'll be great.
okay. Yes.
Seahorse leopard.
Does it look like sturdy? At least where
Yes.
like.
The
Okay.
part of the ruin that you're in, although the digger has sheared through the concrete floor and a concrete wall and part of the concrete ceiling into the next floor, and you've sort of climbed and dug through these concrete levels, it does feel relatively
Stable.
secure. But the digger, when it backed up, it's sort of like, so when it bent the metal as it dug through, it then backed up and sort of impaled itself on that metal that it broke, right?
Okay.
And you can see like there's big openings. They're not necessarily windows, but these big gaps and openings around that you could move over to get a better look. And you can see it raining outside, and it's hitting the rain is hitting the Mole 3000.
I sort of go over to one of those and like Scooby-Doo look around the corner.
Okay.
Look outside.
So you're looking out over the ruins of one of these settlements of the ancients. There's concrete buildings everywhere, and they're all very tall. When I say very tall, like some as high as like maybe 400 feet.
So like,
but you're not
skyscrapers.
nearly that high up. Like you're only about 30 feet up off the ground. Maybe
Okay.
the third floor type thing. You climbed 3 stories. Between the buildings, all these wires crisscross back and forth. Cables that sort of just have a bit of a droop to them.
Okay.
And way below you can see like the asphalt, broken, cracked streets everywhere. And you're a little familiar with these. There's always yellow lines down the center of these pathways.
But I don't recognize it now that I have a better view.
No, and like from this side of the buildings, you don't see any mountains. The city appears to be overgrown with jungle. So in amongst all these concrete buildings and these wires and that, there's like all kinds of vines and that growing up the sides. And you can see like trees poking in and out between the buildings. And then outside of the city, you can just see jungle. And the jungle trees, like there's trees that are a mile high. They just dwarf these little buildings that are, that you find yourself in amongst. So the jungle is sort of, the city is just, it's so overgrown and there's so much jungle around it. It's almost insignificant as you sort of take it all in.
So
I go back to the group and explain to them, like, I don't recognize this place.
would any of us have heard of this? Or
You're
no?
all, with the exception of Tech, you're all welcome to make an intelligence check.
9.
No.
Judy's busy, like,
4.
stripping everything that she can find. Blankets, the food, all of it, and just, like, packing it and getting it ready to go.
All right.
How's a 13?
So, listen, Ito. Your friends in that purvey the city, and like they're like, no, I don't recognize it. But then Ito notices a marking on one of the buildings. It's a very crudely drawn, painted skull with sort of out the bottom of the skull comes the flute of a wine glass. So it looks like basically a very fancy glass with a skull on top. But it's very crudely drawn. Right? That you can just see that. And Ito recalls that your villages, you've never encountered them, but your villages did have a run-in with some mutants a few years back who called themselves the Skull Drinkers. And they're known to be cannibals.
Great.
Well,
you think if that mark is on one of the buildings, you may be in unsafe lands.
we're in Skull Drinker territory here.
Oh.
And when Ito
Everybody
says
keep
that,
your heads.
you all have kind of remember the days of like when and if this is Skull Drinkers, you think the stories, Ito, the Skull Drinkers came from the far side of Titantata.
So we're on the wrong side of the mountain here.
But maybe not so far from home.
Should we try excavating the digger? See if we can get it out and try again?
Thinking C2 is probably where we should be.
If someone moves to the other side of the building and looks, just on the horizon, they can see the tips of 2 mountains just poking over
You
the
see
top.
just the tip?
Just the tip.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Poking over
Just
the
poking
tops
over.
of the mountain, the tops of the jungle in the distance. If on foot through the jungle, you might be a week away, depending on the terrain between here and there.
Like,
The digger could do it in a snap. Like maybe you could be at those mountains in a day.
Or do we want to try to get the digger out then? Like you said.
Computer,
Worth
how
a
far to
shot.
C2?
2 days.
That's like way too far. How far to C4?
3 days.
How far to C5?
Waiting for him to roll 1. Nope.
4 days.
How far to
So
see
we're-
yourself to those mountains that are a day's travel over there?
I would need to know the direction, Captain.
That way. I point.
Out of the way.
Can we
At
figure
that
out
point,
what
there's
direction that is?
click. There's a click, and a bit of the dash opens, and this device comes up with sort of this floating googly like ball in the center of it, and it has like all these letters on it, and it sort of dances around for a bit until it gets its heading. Perhaps you could use the compass, Captain.
Do we know what a compass is?
Probably not.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say the tech level is low enough.
All right.
Okay, 'cause it's
And
gonna
I'll-
say tech could-
I will deduce
you think
the
it's
direction.
you think it's to the east. So she and you know, like I said, you think it's within the 200-mile range. You could be to the mountains in a day.
Can we manually put in destinations?
It would require a roll, but you can, like, if you have a direction, you can go like east for a day,
A day.
Well,
Okay.
why don't we just ask
west for a day.
which
north
number is
for a day.
east from here?
A day, yeah. Is there a pre-plotted number that's a day east from where we are currently?
Closest destination would be C2, Captain.
Then no, we'll see if we can figure out how to plot the travel.
Okay. Well, we need to see if we can excavate the drill before we can do any of that.
That's true. Safety first. I don't think we'll survive a 30-foot fall.
No.
Or getting our skull drunk.
Yeah.
So if we all work together, can we figure out how to get it unstuck?
Sure we can. I believe in us.
Well, you're going to need to find some, like, your multi-tool is good, but you're going to need to find something that can maybe cut metal.
What about a wrench? A wrench could wrench metal,
How about a Gossamer rifle?
and it's
Yeah, I could shoot
indestructible.
metal.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Are there any tools on the digger?
Not for that sort of thing, no. But you are in the center of a ruins of the ancients. There could be.
Are there any hardware shops?
Exactly. You could find it. You could find like a home hardware.
I
Home
would like
Depot.
to seek out a jackhammer, please. Preferably gas powered or solar powered.
Are we going to make an expedition then into the ruins to find the appropriate equipment?
I guess.
Sounds like what you want us to do, so I'm going to say
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, we're smart enough to do that. Let's do
You
it.
could just make a run for the edge of the ruins and head towards the mountains.
What if we
Yeah.
just try?
We could run to the hills.
Run for the hills. Yeah, exactly.
Run for
Computer,
the-
drive forward 5 meters. So we can get unstuck
Okay.
without going over the edge. How far back? When I said reverse 50 meters, how far did we actually travel?
Yeah, you impaled yourself pretty good on the girders.
Okay.
To the point that the digger can't move right now. It can be used for shelter and all the rest of it.
Maybe we just make a run for it at night.
That sounds dangerous.
Because I'm sure they heard all of that.
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure that wasn't
exactly
quiet.
Why don't we
Well-
go see if we can find anything in the close vicinity?
And then lock ourselves in for the night. See if there's any friends outside in the morning. I mean, they should
Or-
know not to mess with us. There's bits of human and mutant
I
all
mean, I
over
got
the
a
front of this
robot
thing.
leg. I don't think anybody wants to mess with me.
I mean, our best chance would be at night. So if we wait until nightfall and then run like crazy.
Yeah, but we'll be running for
We're
a
gonna
week.
run through the jungle.
You know what? I think we will leave it there until next time, and we will level up our characters that survive the funnel.
What?
We're level 1!
I thought we had to make it back to the village.
And when we meet again, we'll see if our heroes can make it back to.
Heroes.
Oh, we're not heroes.
No,
No,
we suck.
probably not. We'll see if our wastelanders can make it back to their mountain home in the valley.
I'm just a waste.
Did we have any player buffs or rerolls left over? I think we did.
Yeah,
There was a
we
buff
had-
yeah.
left.
Ghosty bought another set, so let's make we'll mark that down here.
Put them on the party sheet.
We have
Let's make
You
note
could
of
do
it.
that. You could just add a new slot, and then we can keep track of it that way.
that's a great idea.
Thank you.
So
That's my one for the week.
Good
You're
job, buddy.
welcome.
buffs and
Actually, that's-
rerolls.
For the month. I already wasted February.
Listen, so when we're going to be back in 2 weeks for another episode of the Wasteland Saga, and now that our heroes are level 1, we are going to be inviting you the chatters, and maybe a couple of our other esteemed friends to sit in our guest seat once a week, to join these 4 on their journey. We'll give you a sort of a random level appropriate character, and we'll have people joining us to do that. If you're interested in joining us on this fool on this fool quest,
Don't
I
touch my
haven't
bag or my wrench.
I
Don't
haven't
kill
really
us, please.
I haven't really thought about. We didn't really discuss this ahead of time because we were in a bit of a rush. But what do we think is the best way to get a hold of us? Maybe through you, Artemis.
I mean, they could email the Vactaire or Old Men, whichever.
I don't think people write enough letters nowadays.
Yeah,
so we're gonna
carrier
keep it-
pigeon.
I think they buy 10 sets of dice and then they're in.
Oh, okay. I
I
forgot.
like it. But
We
for
should
us,
decide
right?
how to do that. Do we have the Vactaire's email address? Why don't we use that?
Sure. It's thevactaire@gmail.com.
The Vactaire. Can we put
Makes
that in
sense.
chat? I'll try.
VAKTARE. And just email us, say
missed the
Wasteland
E.
Saga.
Missed-
The Vactaire
Wow.
at gmail.com.
You missed the E.
I know
In
I
the-
missed the E. And we'll I can't guarantee you'll be in the first one, but because we might have some friends and family, etc., lined up for that. But I think we're gonna have a rotating seat. Who knows what kind of crazy guests we can get to.
Don't touch my bag.
Baby. It's not my bag, baby.
I don't like to
so-
be petted.
So when we come back in 2 weeks, we have Tech, Judy, Ito, and His Majesty. I'm not going through it. We need to shorten that. We need
No.
an acronym. We need an acronym or
It's
something.
I think it's HMR, His Royal Majesty, or HRM.
The honorable
I'm not sure.
Junior
Either way,
Esquire.
Sir, Mister.
I hope you
You
had
want
fun
to play
hanging
a
out.
mutant and you want to come mess with us?
Yeah, exactly. I hope you
Don't
had
need
fun hanging out with us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for more of the Wasteland Saga.
Bye bye.